the enemy actually has 100 units, and he actually does not. He has about 11 units remaining. Hello Reformers, and welcome back to the last days. Now, you may notice that I sound a little bit different, and that is mainly because I am sick. Yes, quite sick. And, well, we're going to be having some fun with the Harad dream today, because we are in one of their tents, as you can see. We're actually going to be going outside in just a second, because there are a couple of Mumakil. I actually don't know how to say that particular unit name, but they are the huge elephants that they ride into battle. They're absolutely insanely large outside, and we're going to see those in just a second. But first, we're going to speak to these guys and see maybe... okay, so this is the companion that you will be able to get from the Harad faction, and yes, unfortunately, I will not be able to ask this person to follow me because we need... I think certainly something, yes, we need an accomplice rank. We need 344 more rank points. That's pretty crazy. Oh yeah, by the way, I did interact with a couple of Mordor vassals, and let me just say, they are stubborn. They're very stubborn indeed, because I was thinking to myself, yes, if I could find some of their vassals, then I might have a chance on gaining a task or two. But can you see what's happening right here? Yes, 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 exactly. I have been absolutely spam clicking these guys like nothing else, and they are not willing to give me anything. I don't exactly know why. I don't really know why they wouldn't. And I've also spoken to this guy again, and he does not have any other things to give me. So I'm not entirely sure what I'm supposed to do, but I guess, well, the next best thing for us to do right now is to take a look at these amazing, huge models here. And you can see that they actually rear up and go on their hind legs and everything and do all kinds of wonderful acrobatics and stuff like that. It's very, very cool to see that in the actual game itself. You wouldn't expect them to make something like this. I mean, really, you wouldn't. And they are animated as well. It's not like they're just standing there. They do have like an idle animation and all kinds of things like that. So really, really cool to see that. Otherwise, I guess we're just gonna leave. There's not much more I can do. I mean, I do have a couple of metal scraps. It might make sense actually for me to have a look and see if I could buy some food from here, because I think I'm actually running pretty low. Okay, apparently I'm not going to be able to do that because I have barely any resource points with Harad. So, here we go. There's actually a couple of other vassals here. Maybe we can get something from them. And yes, yeah, there we go. Once again, we're getting this same thing happen where they are not willing to give me any tasks. And just bear in mind that I know that there is that thing that happens sometimes where if you just continue spam clicking on a particular vassal or something, then eventually they're going to give you a task. But it seems to me at the moment I'm not actually able to get anything. As you can see, look at this. It doesn't matter either way. If I just spam click for 5 minutes or 5 seconds, it doesn't seem to make any difference. So that's kind of sad, and we're actually going to be doing battle against some deserters right here. Okay, well, let's do it. I'm actually kind of a bit worried about this a little bit, because this is a very even battle, and it's been a while since we've actually been in one of those, because we usually outnumber the enemy. So let's see what we're able to do here. We do have 37 archers. That's kind of a lot, isn't it? Well, let's see how well we do against the, I suppose they're Haradrim deserters? They seem like that. So let's see what happens with them. And I actually don't even know what kind of units they use. I would assume that they probably use thrown weapons and things like that, but, well, we'll see. Let's see what I can do about making our people stand a little bit closer, just in case they do have some cavalry. Let's get our archers over here as well. Might make sense. There's only very few cavalry. Yeah, we only have 3 cavalry. It's absolutely pointless for me to say follow me, isn't it? I think it probably is kind of pointless. And yeah, it's actually seeming to be quite... Yeah, they do have thrown weapons, as I thought. But yeah, I think this might actually be a pretty easy battle for us. As you can see, they mostly have levies, so I assume it's a good idea for us to just charge straight on in. And we'll see what we can do with our warg by charging straight on into their lines. I mean, it may be glancing damage for the most part. Look at that, 14, 22, 24, and so on. But that eventually is going to add up. All of that damage is really going to add up very, very quickly. I'm actually kind of surprised that any people of ours are falling here, but I suppose it is to be expected, at least against some of the higher tier units. But mostly deserters that we found so far in this particular series have not been extremely dangerous, so I suppose that's not too bad. Obviously, they seem to have a kind of similar thing going on to the Uruks and the Orcs and everything, where they might have large parties in general. They might just run around with large parties. So, yeah, oh, yeah, there we go. The morale of our enemies is wavering. And there we are. I think that is it. I'm actually unsure whether our archers were in a really good position there. I feel like I probably should have moved them a little bit closer to each other. That probably would have made sense. Anyway, what we're going to continue to do is maybe phase out some of the Orcish archers, because obviously the Orcish archers at the moment, they're probably not going to be the most dangerous, and we're just going to go with Uruks for the moment, as now that our, well, I was going to say renown, but now that our rank has increased relatively well in regards to Isengard, we should be at a pretty decent level when it comes to our troop size. Obviously, I do want to keep a good amount of orcs, but not an overwhelming majority of them. Because if we do that, then obviously we're going to be faced with a very weak army, and yeah, that's that. Anyway, we do have 89, as you can see right there. I don't actually have a full army, which is a pretty big mistake in my opinion, but anyway, we'll see what we could do about that as well. Let's just capture a couple of people here, and I'm actually going to go over to the Harad camp and see what I could do about maybe just selling a couple of prisoners there, because we do have resource points to gain, I suppose. So let's just go back there real quick, because it's obviously not going to take us too long to do that. And maybe we want to recruit a couple of them. Actually, I don't think that would be the best idea, personally, but, well, it's a good enough idea for us to just sell a bunch there. And we actually now have 2,200. That's pretty good. Let's have a look and see exactly what they have available. They have hunters, scouts, and they have, well, they have champions. These guys seem very primitive indeed. Obviously, we're not really one to talk, considering we're running around with orcs and uruks and everything, and they're using very basic weaponry and everything. But anyway, let's just level up a whole bunch of our people here. Oh, look at that. Okay, so we could get large orc archers of Mordor or orc trackers of Mordor. Before we level those guys up, I'm actually going to take a look and see exactly who is best. So let's have a look. Okay, large orc archer. Okay, so they eventually go into fell orc archers or fell orc trackers, dependent on what you choose. This guy has 5 in power draw and 120 in archery. That is the tracker. And then the archer has 75 in archery. Why does he have such a small amount? I have no idea, but we're going to go for the tracker then, I suppose. That kind of put paid to that, I guess. Yeah, we'll go for the tracker. There we go. All right, let's continue leveling up other people. I'm just going to go for a split here. All right, so I've actually been journeying quite a while, actually, because I wanted to try to find a task that I could actually do. And it seems to me like tasks are not available if you are too low rank from some of these vassals. It's a bit weird, really, because obviously in Isengard, many of the vassals were perfectly happy to give me whatever random errand they wanted to give me, but as it stands in Mordor, that doesn't seem to be the case. Anyway, I did ask the Morgul chief in Minas Morgul to give me something. And as you can see here, he gave me the supply train thing, and we've come all the way to the Orc Patrol camp. Now, there might be something here for us, so I'm going to see if... Oh, wow. Right. There's not anything here either. There is actually something in the camp. If I recall, someone actually told me that there is a companion here. I don't exactly know whether you need to be just known, or whether you need to actually be a little bit more than that. So I guess what we're going to do is we're going to just try and get in here and see if that's the case. Alright, so it looks like Uthak will be able to join us. There we go. We spent one of our influence points with Mordor. He's very cheap, isn't he? Don't tell him that. I'm sure he's not going to be very pleased. But maybe he doesn't even understand what influence is. Anyway, let's move on from there and actually just take a quick look and see what kind of stats he has. His weekly wage is literally 0, so I assume his stats are equally as low, and that is true. Yes, they are very low indeed, but he can be turned into a very proficient warrior archetype if we have the patience for that, and if we give him a couple of pieces of gear as well, because you can currently see here he's using an orc spear, which is pretty good. I mean, an orc spear is not going to go too badly when up against cavalry and things like that, but in general he's using some very light armor, doesn't have any helmet or anything like that, so it might make sense for us to give him something a little bit more usable. So let's see what I can actually do about that. Uruk helms. I don't exactly think that orcs can use Uruk helms, so I guess I'll just buy this. Let's get him a shield as well. These are all Uruk shields and corsairs and things like that. Oh dear. That's not very good, is it? Ah, here we go. This might be a little bit easier for him. A two-handed. Doesn't have any strength requirement either. That's pretty nice. And I think that's all he basically needs, really. I mean, yeah, you know, he could use a shield and everything, but if he's going to be using a two-handed anyway, it's not really necessary, I guess. So let's give him that. There we go. And I'm going to take away the blunt weapon because I don't really think that... I don't know, really. Should I just take away his polearm? I mean, it's going to leave him kind of defenseless against cavalry, but are we going to fight cavalry if we're not fighting Rohan? Which is... Actually, one of the points that I wanted to make here is maybe it would be a good idea for us to head back to Rohan and actually just eliminate them first, and then just go on to the others, but I don't exactly know whether that's a good idea. Well, now that we've improved our riding skill to level 5, I'm a little bit unsure as to what I should do next. I mean, I suppose what we could do is get our charisma a little bit higher. What else is there? We could get leadership as a result of that. Otherwise, we could just level up our strength, try to get more Iron Flesh, Power Strike, etc. But I don't think that's really necessary at the moment. I think leadership might make more sense, considering we're attempting to get the largest party that we can. And otherwise, I think we might just make a brief stopover in Isengard territory and just have a look and see exactly what's going on there. Alright, so one of our old friends, yes, Malhur, he is currently having some problems with a huge amount of patrols from Rohan, and you can see here that the enemy actually has 100 units, and he actually does not. He has about 11 units remaining, and that's exactly the reason why you see 101 troops instead of, well, 90, because we have 90. So anyway, let's charge the enemy. I don't exactly know how this is going to go, to be honest. I feel like we're doing quite a few risky maneuvers, so to speak, because we have, time and time again in this episode, taken on fights that are probably much too risky for Isengard and Mordor units to really think about doing. I personally feel like we should take fights that are much more in our favor, of course. But, well, if that's what's going to happen, then that's what's going to happen. By the way, I have 1 day until the Riders of Rohan quest is complete, or shall we say, runs out. So if I'm unable to eliminate the remaining Riders of Rohan, then that will be it. But, as a few people have stated in the comments over the past couple of episodes, yes, unfortunately, someone did the testing, apparently, and Riders of Rohan killed in your prisoner's camp, they do not count for the quest, as far as I'm aware. Now, of course, we can test that out if I'm able to, you know, capture a couple of these guys, but I don't think it's gonna work. I don't know why it wouldn't, really, but, well, we'll see, Maybe we're gonna be lucky, or maybe we're just gonna, you know, not be lucky. And I don't know why, but I'm so bad at killing these guys. I think it's because I estimate that my sword has a much larger reach than it actually does, but oh well, never mind. I guess it's just more for close combat. There we go. We eliminated another one. I don't exactly know how many I've killed now. Probably 8. I mean, if I had continued to kill Rohan forces instead of going all the way over to Gondor territory, then yeah, no, you know, I probably would have had many more by now, but, well, I kind of thought it was nice to have a bit of a change of scenery, and it's kind of about time that we do a little bit of relation boosting, rank point boosting in other factions, because we are eventually going to need those, you know, those support structures, you know, in our social circles, suffice it to say. Yeah, that sounds rather amusing to me, you know, just literally being like, hello, my name is Bear Uruk, I'm an Uruk from Isengard. I've come here to socialize, to slaughter men, yes, slaughter men and eat man flesh, because of course, that's exactly what it's all about, eating man flesh. Well, maybe not even eating it, just enjoying it, you know? Just enjoying it. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are very, very used to that. Anyway, let's see what we can do about this one guy who is proving himself to be kind of annoying. So yeah, there we go. Thank you for stopping. Thank you for running out of arrows and stopping and facing your demise. There we go. Not too bad. Alright, so that was it. That was... oh, okay. I actually thought that was a little bit too easy. I don't exactly know what was going on with those guys. I guess it's because they just literally charged straight on in and didn't do anything else. They literally just charged one by one, basically. And that obviously made things much, much easier for us. I think this is a rider of Rohan, isn't it? I think that's a rider. So it would be kind of nice to eliminate it. No, that's just a skirmisher. Oh, I thought it might be because it was using thrown weapons, but I was hopeful. They have relatively similar armor, so that's kind of annoying. I saw one rider of Rohan so far, so it seems like that's definitely not going to happen. Not unless I'm able to capture a whole bunch of them from this battle. You know what? I think I'm going to try and get a much, much longer one-handed sword if I can. I don't exactly know whether that's even possible, but yeah, might be kind of nice considering I've actually been using this weapon since the start of the game, so it would be kind of good to get a little bit of an upgrade perhaps. Yeah, it would be kind of nice. So maybe I'm gonna get one from probably Mordor's blacksmiths, because I'm pretty sure they have some decent weapons. I actually think that there's a couple of weapons available when you get more rank points with Mordor itself, so it would be kind of nice for us to actually finally get a couple of tasks from them. And it kind of makes me think, I don't know, it's just like, are they just boxing me out of the social circles? I don't know what's going on there. Well, never mind. We gained 42 rank points and a huge amount of relation with our friend here, and he is very pleased indeed to be actually surviving. Oh, there we go. We actually did gain 7 Riders of Rohan here. We're going to be taking them, of course, and we're going to go into the prisoner's little review place, and we'll see if it actually does have any effect. As I say, I feel like someone in the comments did actually do the testing and said to everyone in the comments on that particular video that it does not work. So let's see if it actually does. And if it does, then great. If it doesn't, then, well, that's just how it is. Alright, so let's go and review our troops and prisoners. And where are we? Oh, there they are. Yes. It's a little bit weird that we spawn all the way over here, but, well, what can you do? Now, I'm going to try and kill them with a sword rather than obviously killing them with a blunt weapon, because blunt actually does not kill them and it doesn't really count. So let's see what I can do about it. Do I have... oh, I don't have anything better? Okay, well... Rider of Rohan, take that. Alright, so let's have a look. I've literally actually just killed 6. Are you serious? I thought I actually killed 1. Or 2, when I was actually in the battle. Okay, that's a little bit weird, but as you can see, I've killed 6. So if I just kill another one right here, and then go out here, and you can see that it has no effect. So, yeah. That fellow was correct in saying that. Even going onto the world map, I'm just going to move around a little bit just to make sure that it does... Wait a minute. It's now 10. Wait a minute. I don't think we're going to make this, actually, literally just because it might It might just need the map to update. Maybe that's all that it is. Let's see whether this... it's for science. It's for science. Let's see whether it actually does have any effect here. Just gonna make sure I'm just selecting the... I should really get off to make sure I'm killing the right people. There we go. There we go. Alright, so that's another 2. And let's see whether that actually updates and gives us 12. It does not. It does not work. Yep, there you go. Alright, so that fellow was correct, and unfortunately, I will not be able to complete this Riders of Rohan quest. Ah, there you go! Yes! The might of Rohan has diminished, and Rohan is now fair, which is part of the reason why I wanted to actually head back to Rohan territory, because, well, I noticed that Rohan was rallying and they had then gained power up to average, and I didn't really want them to... Oh, they've rallied once again. Well, that's kind of unfortunate, isn't it? But yes, anyway, I'm gonna just walk around a little bit here and see if I can just, you know, help our forces a little bit more, and then we're gonna head back to Gondor territory, and that scout thing has disappeared now because the quest was cancelled because I took too long to complete it. But anyway, we're doing pretty well so far. I feel like the forces of evil are doing quite nicely. Let's just take a quick look at the faction strengths so you can actually see what's going on. Gondor is still strong at the moment. Isengard is quite strong, actually well over 1,000 points plus in comparison to Gondor there. Rohan is doing very badly. Look at that, 3,000. And everyone else is okay. Umbar is not doing well at all. Look at that. They only have 2,000 points. I think I might have to go over there and help them out a bit. That seems like something we'll need to do. I mean, that's what we were doing previously, wasn't it? These are the Umbar guys? Yeah, those are the Umbar guys. So I'm probably going to do that in the next episode as well. So I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.